Hey everyone, welcome to the third installment of the Zoom tutorials. In this tutorial, we're going to actually look at how to access a scheduled meeting and how to then allow students in and navigate the Zoom tools themselves. So one way of getting into the Zoom is to log in using your Clever and go to your Zoom profile, and then all your meetings will be listed out for the day. So I kind of keep this up in the background, and then when I need my meeting, I just kind of come over here and click on it. Well, I just recently found a new tool, and I'm ending this because I forgot to turn it off. I just recently found a new tool in the settings, which I told you to turn on, and that was that if a student enters before the host, it'll email you. And that actually is probably a tool that's going to save some of you as we're trying to, spray down tables or be in the hall or whatever it might be that's keeping you from actually being in front of your computer. Is that first person who wanted to get into the Zoom meeting, it's going to actually send you a little message. So right now I have myself sitting ready to start a meeting. Okay. And I'm like, oh, hey, I better go start this meeting. So I'll go ahead and start the meeting from my email, which is kind of nice. And then I'll go ahead and go open Zoom meeting. And then that brings up the app. And you can be full screen, you can be small screen. For this purpose, I'm just going to keep it kind of small. And I don't have my video on, but my audio is on. And currently, I don't have anyone in the waiting room. So maybe that person said, oh, she's taking forever to get online, right? And so they left the room, but I've now opened that meeting. And so anyone who then tries to get into the meeting will pop into this waiting room. So we'll go ahead and see if somebody pops in. That's one real nice aspect of this is that if you turn on the chime, when somebody does get into the waiting room, you'll hear a sound along with this little box that'll pop up that says admit. Now, when you have multiple people trying to get in pretty quickly at the same time, the bell just rang, you're probably going to have multiple people popping into this section here. And if you want to admit all of them, there'll be an option that says admit all, and you can just click that and then they'll pop in. Now, they do take a little bit of time to then load in. So I have a tendency to want to say hi right away. Wait until they actually pop up into this meeting section down here, and then you'll know. And every once in a while, I don't know if it's due to their connectivity or mine or just other technical stuff, you'll hit admit and you thought you hit admit, but then there'll still be kind of this off color. So you'll have to hit it again. And I had one situation one time where I had like 4 people waiting and it just wasn't working. And I don't know if the internet was being weird or whatever. So I communicated with them through my Google Classroom. And about the time I got things posted on Google Classroom, it let all 4 of them in. So sometimes there's a little bit of lag, but most of the time it works perfectly fine. So here we are. I let in the person. Now, if I wanted them to be able to change their name, so I am going to actually ask this person to change their name, there's a couple options to do that. You can click on the 3 buttons down here and allow participants to rename themselves. And so then once that's allowed, that person needs to hit participants and then go to their name under participants, and it'll give them a little button that says rename. And so I'm going to rename this person as guest. That way you don't get confused when I go to show you breakout rooms. All right, so then here we are where we've got guests and then we have myself as the host. I want to turn off the ability to rename. I can do that here from the security setting or back here at my 3 dots. All right, some good tools to know about as some kids may struggle. The mute button, all you have to do is hit the microphone or turn the microphone back on. And then you do have some selections that you can do. You can test the speakers. You can use headphones that have a speaker built into them. I'm trying to think if there's anything more important about this. I think mainly I had a student today that could barely hear her. And so I actually talked her through clicking over here and testing her speaker microphone. And then I actually had her go to audio settings. And at that point, I was able to tell her to turn off automatic adjustment to pull this all the way up so that I could hear her better. So those are some options that if they're having a hard time navigating, you can help them out with. There's also the video settings that also might be helpful if they're having issues with their cameras. So that also has its own carrot to the video. And you could choose a background, but my desktop doesn't have any backgrounds imported. All right, under participants, you can invite, right? But most of the time you click participants, this pops up, allows you to see everyone and kind of take attendance here. Now, when the students have participants up, they can do some simple things like answer questions. Hey, guest, am I going too fast or too slow? And that'll pop up, which is go faster, right? Or maybe I want to ask just a general question like, did everybody get the message from Miss Owens over the weekend? Yes or no? And they can click yes, and it'll put a check mark there for you. So it's a quick way for them to give you some answers. Or is everybody back with me? And you can clear all. And so you can say, everybody, click yes if you are back with me. Maybe you had them run and go get something. So yes, they're back with you. No, maybe they need to say, no, I'm not back with you, right? There's a couple other really cool little tools here that they can do. They can say, I need a break, and they can let you know I need a break, right? Or there is the clock, which allows you to know, hey, I needed to take a quick minute. So you can clear those as many times as you need, right? And then let's take a look at the other really awesome feature here of breakout rooms. So there are reactions, but the unfortunate part about the reactions is they don't work on the Chromebook side of our tool. And so that kind of makes it a little more difficult, but I kind of just ignore them that I have them and let the students use these ones if need be. So let's go ahead and look at how to do breakout rooms. So the one part I like about Zoom is the breakout rooms are pretty easy. So once I click on them, I can decide how many breakout rooms to create, right? And I can automatically assign, which will then create 4 as equally as possible breakout rooms, or I can manually assign. And once these rooms are created, as long as I don't close out the entire Zoom meeting, those groups will stay the same. So then they can pop back and forth. So I'm going to provide an example here by hitting create rooms, and you'll notice that I had it marked that I was going to assign. So if I assign, I can click guest, and I'll assign the guest there, and then I'll say open rooms. Now for the guest, it provides them with a specific screen that pops up for them that says the host is inviting you to a breakout room, and it's breakout room 1. You hit join, and then you'll notice my screen there changed, and my guest is now in breakout room 1. Now if I close all these rooms, that's fine, right? It'll tell the people in the breakout room, hey, you need to return to the main session. You have 54 seconds. Maybe they're finishing up their quick comments. So then once they return, right, it does not get rid of guest 1 out of room 1. So I can then open or reopen those rooms quickly, and they can go back and talk with those people. So it makes it just nice if you want to do turn-in talks, or you want them to work in group work. So for you as the host, you can jump around and you can go to different breakout rooms. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, guest needs to join the room. So as a host, I'm going to actually jump in and talk to the guests in breakout room 1. So once I jump into breakout room number 1, you'll notice I pop up. So do the guests, and they should be doing some work here. You can chat with them. When you do breakout rooms, it automatically opens up their ability to screen share. And if not, I just always ask them to say, hey, can you screen share or not? But you can come in and then click it on if you need to. But that's an opportunity for them to share their screens and communicate what they're doing on their computer to each other. When you're done in a breakout room, right, you can hit either leave room, or you can go breakout rooms more and jump into a new one. But if you leave room, right, you leave breakout room, it's going to take you back to the main session. That way you can regroup and say, okay, I just visited group 1. They're on track. Mark down what you need to. And now you can go in and go join breakout room number 2. And then when you go in there, you can talk with those people, check in with them. Now, you can go from breakout room to breakout room using this tool, right? Or you can just leave the room. Now, if you end meeting for all, then you're going to end it in the entire Zoom meeting, and it will reset all of your breakout rooms. But if you just leave the meeting and you leave the meeting, then they're sitting there doing whatever. And if you leave the breakout room, that's the one that you want to focus on, is just leaving the breakout room. Takes you back to the main session. All right, real quick, don't want to spend too much more time. This is great for you to explore yourself, but I just want to point out that typically people cannot, they can't just share their screen. Kid can't just go, oh, I'm going to take the screen. Miss Strong's not going to be. We don't have that setting set. So the nice part is, though, if you do need a student to participate and share their screen, you can click that, and then a student can put up his screen. And actually, all 3 students can share all 3 of their screens at the same time. It does take a lot of bandwidth, so some kids may not be able to do it while they're at home, but it's a great opportunity to try if the kids can get it done. One last thing I really want to point out, and that is if you need closed captioning. So when you are looking at closed captioning, you're going to want to go to the 3 little dots for more. And that's where you'll a lot of times need to go to grab your chat. Also, if you wanted to pause your recording or stop your recording, you can physically do that. But you also use these 3 little dots for your breakout room a lot of times. And that all just depends on how big your screen is. And you'll notice here, as you resize your screen, more things will pop up, which is nice because here's a live transcript. So with live transcript, you can actually assign different people to either translate or to type in as they go. Or my favorite right here is live translate, which enables the audio transcription automatically. Those of you that are needing those closed captions, this is great. One thing you will need to note is that if you are going to stick them into breakout rooms and you only need one of the breakout rooms to do this, you're going to have to jump over there and turn on the live transcript for them. But otherwise, this is awesome. It's a great opportunity for the students to be able to also read what you're saying. So if their audio isn't working right, they'll at least see these CCs. It's not perfect, as you can tell, but neither is the one on Google. So if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I can help as much as I can, and I hope that these few tutorials support you in attempting or trying Zoom.